Now it's time to do the same thing with our other theme. So go back into design, select the other theme, activate it, view the site, and now we'll do the same thing here. Okay, so let's go and open up the other folder with our other theme in it on our desktop. Now this one is called Future Garden. Here's our Future Garden folder, so let's go inside here. And then again, you see we have all these same pieces. The one we're looking for is Sidebar. So we'll do an Open With Notepad. Okay, now this is a little different. You see we have left sidebar and we have a division ID left sidebar. Then you see the familiar function is this dynamic sidebar and dynamic sidebar 1. Okay, so this is telling you about the widgets, and then it has an else, and then this is the part that you can modify down here. Okay, and somebody's AdSense code is in here. Actually, it's nobody's. You just put your pub ID in it. And then go down a little further. Okay, then we have right sidebar. And then our division ID is right sidebar. And then again with the dynamic sidebar, 2. And then else, and then the other stuff that's on the dynamic sidebar. So if we go back here and we equate that, this is sidebar 1 and this is sidebar 2. Now let's just make the same modifications on here we did on the other one. Now it's going to depend whether you want it on the left sidebar or the right sidebar where you're going to make your changes to where you make your change in here. So let's say we wanted to put some text above everything in the left sidebar. Now this could also be a picture or whatever you want, it could be here, just like we did in the other one. Okay, so we would put that right above the dynamic sidebar code, and then it will show on either sidebar. Okay, so there's test text. And if we wanted to put something on the right sidebar as well, you could go down to the right sidebar division and then do the same thing here, like that. Okay, let's save this. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to our cPanel. We're going to rename the original sidebar to save it, and then we'll upload this one. Now, first of all, we need to go to the right spot, so we're going to have to go find the proper theme. This time we're using Future Garden, so we click the little file folder, go in there, go to Sidebar, rename. Okay, now we upload our file. The right one here. Upload our sidebar. Okay, and you see our test text at the top of everything, right sidebar text at the top of everything on that side, just as it should be. Remember, the widgets and all of that stuff we can change, and it will still show up even if we're using the widgetized version over here. Now, I'm not going to go through the widget thing with you again. You already saw how it worked. So what we'll do next is we'll just show you how to reorganize things in these sidebar on this particular one. Okay, so for instance, if we wanted to take this AdSense code out, which you should do unless you're going to put your pub ID in there. So let's get rid of this. Okay, notice when we get rid of a division, we also have to make sure we get the back end of it, which would be a slash div like that. So make sure you get rid of both pieces. Make sure we get rid of all that AdSense stuff. Alright, so now all we have to do is change the way things are working on our sidebar. So again, we can move things around. We got categories. We got list pages. All we have on this sidebar is, if we look here, we have recent entries, the AdSense code, which we removed, menu, and categories. So if we wanted to move categories above menu, we would simply grab this, do a cut, and paste it above, save, we'll upload it. Make sure that you click on overwrite box. Okay, so this should move categories above menu. And there it is. And the AdSense code, of course, is gone as well. So that's how we modify that side. And over here, and this is a much simpler sidebar, you notice. It doesn't have all that stuff on there. Okay, so over here, there's our dynamic sidebar. There's our archives. And we have our blog roll, then our meta. So there's archives. There's our link list, in this case it's called. And there is our meta. So all you would have to do is move them around by cutting and pasting where you wanted it to go. Okay, so that is how you can change the sidebar to act the way you want it to act and have the content on it that you want to have on it. Now we're going to talk about modifying the header. And this area is the header image up here. Now to do this, what we're going to have to do is either change the name of it in the CSS file. Let's just go and look here. You'll see here that we have style.css, and depending on how you have Windows set, you may not be able to see the actual suffixes here, the PHPs and so on, but it doesn't matter. You just look for one called style. And if we were to open this with Notepad, and okay, here it is here, images/header.jpg. So that's what it's called. And if you wanted to upload a new image, all you would have to do is change the name on the style sheet here, and it would actually use that image instead. The other thing you could do is create a new image and make sure that it has the same name, and then overwrite the one that's on there already, and it'll bring up the new image. So you can do it either way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a different header up here. I'm going to create a header using another blank header that I have and just modifying it slightly using paint.net. So let's go and find a different header that we want to use. Well, this is the header image I'm going to use. It doesn't really match, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So let's put that one in there in its place. So what I'll do is I'll paste that in here. Okay, here it is here. Actually, should put that in the images directory. So let's do that. Go in here. Now, right away, if we were to do a properties on this, the original one, and have a look at the size, you'll see that its dimensions are 988 by 300. And if we were to do dimensions on this one is 720 by 141. So right away, it's not going to look quite right if we were to just straight upload it. So let's just see what happens when we do that. So let's rename header on this side. This is on our computer. And then we'll rename our new image header. Okay, then we'll go back and we'll upload it. We'll go into images. Then we will Upload. We'll upload our new header. Overwrite the existing file. Okay, here we go. When we refresh, watch what happens. Okay, so as you can see, it isn't wide enough and it isn't deep enough. So what we would have to do is go and modify it in paint.net to make it fit better. So let's go. We'll open it with a program called paint.net, and you can download that for free. And if you look in the resources document, you'll see where you can download it. Here's the interface for paint.net. So let's first open our file. Okay, so here it is. Now we're going to have to stretch this proportionally. So what we'll do, go back and get our original properties. Okay, so it needs to be 988 wide. So what we'll do is we'll go Image, Resize, make sure we have Maintain Aspect Ratio, change this to 988, and you'll see that it automatically changed the height to 193. Okay, now we'll save. Okay, click OK. And it's done. So that's as simple as it is. Now if we go back in here now, and we check this size, now it says 988 by 193. So the only thing we have to change now is the height in our style sheet. Because remember, it said height is 300 pixels. So we need to change that to be 193. We'll save. Now we'll upload both of those items. We're going to have to re-upload the header. Make sure you overwrite. Click the overwrite box. Upload that. Then we got to go up one level. This is where the style.css is, you see here. So we're going to upload the style file as well that we changed. Overwrite. There. Now when we refresh this, you'll see that it has taken up the proper amount of space, and this has moved up here. Okay, so it's as simple as that to modify your header.